When I saw the very first results of our experiments in directed evolution, already in the very early 1990s, I knew I had something important that would solve real problems and that would work. Of course, it took the rest of the world decades to realize that, and of course the Nobel Prize multiple decades. An enzyme is like a Beethoven symphony to me. It's beautiful. It's the work of 4 billion years of evolution. It's got thousands of atoms, and it works in a concert that human beings don't understand. To me, it was obvious that evolution would be the best way to build new ones. And the trick was to do it fast enough. Many of my enzymes would never survive in the natural world because they don't support the organism that invented them. But they're really useful in your laundry machine, for example, because they take stains off of clothes in the presence of bleach and detergent. You would not find that enzyme in the natural world, but it becomes very useful to us. I get a lot of opportunity to think back on what forces shaped my personality and how I explore the world. And I realize that adaptability, adaptation to challenges, trying new things, exploring, and then adapting is just like evolution. It's just like what I'm known for doing in the laboratory. I did it myself as a person. Being a nonconformist depends on who's defining what you should be. I just wanted to be like all the boys. I loved having brothers. I loved growing up with them. I wanted to do all the things that they got to do, whereas I was a girl and therefore was labeled a nonconformist because I wanted to be like the brothers. I think being a teenager is really hard because you're exploring who you are in a world that wants to put you into certain boxes. I had a conviction that I didn't want to fit into someone's box. I wanted to explore all the boxes. I was just born that way.
That's true and good and awesome rebellion. This is the rebellion process.
I really was fearless. I did idiotic things. But I had to try. I had to explore. I had to do even dumb things in order to see how that life would be. I learned to be resilient. I learned to be very adaptable. I learned how to talk across many different kinds of people, talk to people in very different ways. So there's always a balance. I was very lucky when I was a graduate student to be at UC Berkeley at the beginning of the DNA revolution. It was such an exciting time to see the birth of a whole new industry, an industry that would need engineers. But at the time, I realized that maybe I could be an engineer, not just to support the industry, but to create whole new biological entities. I could become an engineer of the biological world. So when I came to Caltech as a postdoc, I wanted to build better proteins, not just study them, which is what the biochemists were doing. They were using these methods to study proteins. I wanted to build new ones. Enzymes are proteins. They're made up of a string of amino acids, and they are responsible for all the chemistry of the living world. Because you think about nature's chemistry, she uses these renewable resources and makes these marvelous things with no wastes. I wanted to build enzymes that would do human chemistry cleanly. I stumbled on evolution. Evolution is the process that made all these enzymes in the first place, that surround us and inspire us. And evolution is a simple algorithm of mutation and selection, which humans have been doing for a very long time. So I decided to do that in the test tube. I decided to breed molecules in the test tube, just like we breed cats and dogs, and make new versions of these molecules that would be useful for humans.
What I really like about Frances is she likes to put people together that challenge each other. And so part of it is the cross-fertilization between different groups, which I think is very strong. You learn about these different fields that are not really anything I think about normally, and so it expands your horizons in a very positive way.
She creates the space for innovation. And the truth is that you cannot do innovation with one brain or one area or one training, really. Innovation sits in crossovers of generations, of cultures, of worldviews. And she is voracious when it comes to this in the best possible way.
I see these individuals come and their careers are being formed and their personalities in science are being formed. I love to see it when it's a really positive experience, as it is. There's nothing more satisfying than when a student runs into my office and said, "It worked, look what I found." And it's a whole new discovery, a whole new chemistry that no one has seen before. To see the joy of discovery on their faces gives it to me. I can't express how fun it is, how joyful it is to discover, but even better to share discovery with the students, because they're the ones who are discovering it, and they're making this discovery and sharing it with me. That is so much fun.
Frances has this kind of rebellion that's inspiring and productive and not reckless. She communicates with full honesty the roller coaster that life is. And that's inspiring because it tells you that no failure defines you, and even more important, no success defines you either.
It is inspiring to see a very senior scientist who is open and happy about what they're doing, loves their job, and is able to communicate the kind of things that she's doing in a very clear fashion that make it understandable to everyone.
What makes me most proud is to look on the careers of the more than 300 now people who have come through my laboratory, who are touching science all over the world in tremendously creative and impactful ways. Biology will play a much bigger role in our future of building the things that we need in our daily lives. We're just now scratching the surface. I'm an engineer. I'm proud of being an engineer. I'm interested in discovering new things in the scientific world, but I want to make things. And if we're going to make something new, why not make something that's novel and useful?